The fight for 15. Rah, 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 go, 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 go. Minimum wage doesn't really exist in America. It only recently has appeared in such places as Seattle and San Francisco, because the truth is that the minimum wage laws that exist on the books are tokens. They are there to say, hey, we support this. The minimum wage has always been below the actual minimum wage, the wage that you can actually get people to work. So for example, in Nevada, the minimum wage is like $7.50 an hour, something around there. I cannot go to Home Depot and ask the illegal immigrants, not that I would ever do that are standing there, and get them to work for $10 an hour. The price is $20 an hour that they want. If you're really lucky, you might get somebody for $15. But that minimum wage is well below what anybody actually makes outside of maybe teenagers working at McDonald's to gain an entry-level job. And when you raise the minimum wage, you are forcing businesses to then pass on the cost to the consumer. You go in, you're going to be paying higher prices. Some people that can afford it say, hey, that's fine as long as this person's making more money. But the truth is that the majority of people are very price sensitive and will therefore go elsewhere or substitute. For example, instead of eating out, they're going to work at home. You take a look at restaurant workers. They get paid minimum wage. Sometimes in some areas you can pay below minimum wage because the expectation is that they're going to make it back on tips. And the restaurant workers are going to get laid off because the restaurant is going to have to raise the prices, and people are just going to skip going out to eat and substitute that with home delivered goods or make their own meals at home, because there is such a thing in economics as substitution, which is why when one thing rises in price dramatically, you choose something else to replace it. That's just the way that economics works. So this fight for 15, this is just going to displace workers because people aren't going to be able to afford to hire people. McDonald's is going to go full robotics, and that's going to happen more and more frequently as you raise the minimum wage. And it's really sad to me that people think that you can just print more money and distribute it, because if you want that, then go look at what happens in Venezuela, and you look at the rampant inflation there, where you have to have a stack of bills and you exchange those bills every single day in hopes for some good, and the only thing that really lasts are commodities. And the minimum wage, $15 an hour, it sounds like really good, but the truth is that once people hit that mark, then maybe they just stay there because they're making enough to survive and they don't necessarily want to improve themselves. I'm just going to tell you that if the real minimum wage is $15 an hour, as it is for the illegal immigrants outside of Home Depot, not that I've ever experienced it, that's what they're going to work for. And there is going to be a minimum wage because it costs a certain amount to live in this country. And there's nothing wrong with workers getting paid more and unionizing and fighting for what they think is right, but not for the government to mandate it. There are things the government has to mandate, but when you start to do this, you start to harm the economy, you start to harm workers, and that's the reality. A few will gain, others will see their hours cut back, as they've already seen happening. Businesses have already gone out of business. There are tight margins. Not everybody's an Apple, a Google, a Microsoft that can afford to pay their highly skilled workers who have scale, who the moment that you press a button, their work is distributed over 100 million cell phones instantaneously around the globe. You don't have that when you have a job where you are sewing pillowcases or working at McDonald's. The margins there are razor thin, and you're just going to be harming people rather than helping them. A select group of people will be helped, and most will be harmed. And that's peace and blessings. Hit the subscribe button. Help me make more than minimum wage. Greatly appreciated. Like this video, share it with friends. Cheers.